Hey, ever wondered what would happen if you took Jaws and Saw, then added Narcos into that and tried to make a movie out of it? No? Well, too bad. Somebody did in 2012, and we're going to talk about it, so sit down, shut up, and let's go. It's time for Shark Week.
Code monkey, get up, get coffee. Code monkey, go to job. Code monkey, have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say code monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do code monkey think? Code monkey think maybe manager wanna write login page himself. Code monkey not say it out loud. Code monkey not crazy, just proud. Code monkey like Fritos. Code monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code monkey, very simple man. Big, warm, fuzzy, secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
What's new, Dino Dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. Sorry, it's been about 2 weeks since I actually made one of these. I've been moving. So, yeah, I moved into a new dino den, got my whole place set up. Yeah, just kind of kicking here on my own, enjoying the days, watching movies, playing Mortal Kombat 11 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Drinking Mountain Dew finally. It's in stock again. So, let's talk about a 2012 Asylum movie called Shark Week. Now, when I say Shark Week, you immediately think, oh, that awesome Discovery Channel show. Yes, that's what I thought. And then I watched this movie. My little intro thing was not lying. This movie is literally Saw with sharks and narcos, drug dealers and stuff. I am not making any of this up. This is truly a movie you kind of have to see to believe in certain aspects. So I'm going to try and break it down to you the best I can in order to kind of explain it. So the movie follows this group of people, there's 7 of them I believe, that all of a sudden get kidnapped right out of nowhere in the middle of broad daylight in front of lots of people. Yeah, I'll talk about the whole filming aspect in a minute. They wake up on this remote island, or at least this cliffside that has a massive beach and also a forest, and most definitely is not possible even if it was its own island, considering how much of solid land we see and the amount of sea we see. But that's beside the point. They wake up having been taken by Tiborin, or as I like to call him, Tibby. He's a drug kingpin who is out for personal revenge on all 7 of them for reasons that they don't know. In fact, they don't even know each other, but their pasts will be revealed, and they do connect. Spoiler alert, 2 of them are lawyers, 1 of them's a doctor, 1 of them was a cop or an undercover cop, so on and so forth. His son is dead and he blames them. End of story. So they find themselves now trapped in this whole, game, essentially. They literally refer to it as a game, where they now have to fight their way through sharks. Be they as simple as tiny pups, which miraculously grow size every few seconds, and every different shot has a different number and color of them than they originally were shown, or deal with hammerhead sharks and try and find a way to take them out before they all end up getting killed, which results in most of them getting killed because nobody in this movie is smart enough to think about the logical things, such as grab the tail, hit the gills, go for the eyes. Yeah, actually, true fact here, if you ever find yourself being being chased by a shark in any regard, or it's starting to circle you, 3 words of advice from me. Well, 4. 1, do not move. Be as still as possible, don't move, it might leave. Step 2, if it's coming in for an attack, aim for the gills. Hitting it in the gills is the equivalent of hitting someone in the throat, the gut, or in a man's case, the nuts, as it will completely paralyze them and in some cases can kill them. If you have some sort of sharp rock, sorry, I don't know why I was saying sharp, forget it, a sharp rock or a knife or something, go for the gills, or my third piece of advice, go for the eye. But also be very careful doing that, because if you don't manage to kill them, they will most likely be very, very angry. And where sometimes sharks have been known to go near people and leave simply out of boredom, if you attack them, they might attack back, and that might not end well for you. Especially if you're dealing with bull sharks, mako sharks, hammerheads, or great whites. This has been Raptor's Fish Facts. Back to the review. So, yeah, it turns out all of them have some sort of dark past and sins they must atone for. Wait, no, then you saw again. No, sorry, in this movie, they all have a past they must atone for having hurt somebody. No, that's Saw. Oh, wait, no, this is just Saw with sharks, like I've said 3 times now. Seriously. The whole plot is just, there's literally a guy who even kind of looks like Jigsaw. Tibby kind of looks like Jigsaw. He's got a wife or girlfriend who reminds me a lot of Amanda Young. And they're testing people, forcing them through this twisted game with sharks in order to survive. So, if it isn't clear by now, these characters in this movie are not very smart. They're not really characters you get invested in or even care all that much if they live or die. We're given very little for a backstory or personality. Honestly, Tiburon, or however you pronounce his name, Tibby as I like to call him, is the best part of this movie because the guy who plays him, Patrick Bergin, is just going full ham. Like Bruce Campbell levels of ham. And it doesn't always work, but he makes this movie worth watching alone because he is just so goofy and over the top. Yeah, if you don't know him, he's been in stuff like Patriot Games, Love Crimes, Sleeping with the Enemy. I know none of these movies, so I can't really say much about it. But yeah, it's him and the main female, Yancey Butler, is the other name on the title, so to say. She's been in stuff like Kick-Ass and Hard Target and Witchblade. Not exactly great movies, but it's still like the name, like Bruce Boxleitner, however I pronounce that, or Danny Trejo, or Jaleel White that the Asylum likes to put on their posters. Really, the reason why I would recommend you watch this movie is because of how stupid it is. I'll talk about the acting in a minute. I'd like to talk about the effects. This is the Asylum. They are not known for good effects. But man, are these effects bad even by their standards. I'm all here for it. Like I said, there are multiple shots with sharks of different sizes, shapes, and colors. That's fine. I'm also willing to give some leniency to said sharks being the exact same in each shot. If they're slightly different color or slightly different size, I'm not going to judge them on that too harshly because, excuse me, the Asylum. Like, these are the people that made Sharknado. But the amount of color shifting, size shifting especially, that's where it becomes the most noticeable, is how these sharks that are maybe this big will suddenly be this big, or 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 this big, within seconds. And then there were shots when somebody is floundering around in the water because they were pushed in and they couldn't do anything about it, despite, having a metal chain. They could probably use it, take the guy down with them. Where they're splashing around and all that, and then there's nothing. They don't even try and add shark fins or something. It's literally somebody splashing around in a pool. I honestly feel like the FX guys forgot to do that scene and somehow ended up with not having the effects there. But to be honest, the effects really do help the nonsensical plot because it makes all of this so much more entertaining in just a, I'm sorry, what is happening way. Yeah, like, the acting is not good. Some of the actors actually seem to be having a pretty good time. Some of them actually turn in By Asylum standards, okay performances. It's clear they're just having fun or just kind of really leaning into the campiness. None of them, I think, have been in, like, from the ones I've looked up on IMDb here, none of the ones that, like, I really recalled have done a whole lot. Like, okay, Bart Baggett. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He has 3 movies to his name. Well, no, he has a lot of movies, but the 3 notable films that came up. Shark Week, 3 Gurus and a Big Stack, I can't tell what else, stack of cash, and The Green Hornet. The acting is terrible. In fact, a number of times it feels like they're trying to do a dramatic scene or a dramatic shot, but the acting is so horrible that it genuinely takes any emotion out of the scene, which is really saying something. And then we get scenes with Patrick Bergin just being allowed to chew the scenery when he starts freaking out that this isn't a game, there are rules to it, despite the fact that he said this is a game and there are no rules. Are you starting to see my problem with this? Anyhow, the other 2 things worth mentioning that, well, 3 things worth mentioning that really are bad, even by Asylum standards, is the backgrounds. Like I mentioned, all these characters are kidnapped in one way or another. And with some of them, it actually makes sense. Like, one of them gets picked up at her house or at a dorm where everyone else is passed out, so no one's going to notice her getting taken. Sure. Other people are in the middle of cafes or on a beach, and you see people in the background even looking at them when it happens. I don't think that was supposed to be on camera, by the way. And nobody does anything. Okay. And something else very much worth mentioning is the audio quality. The audio quality, okay, it actually kind of sounds a lot like this. You kind of get that metallic, echoey feel to it because I don't know why. It even sounds sometimes like they didn't even have microphones, so they're just filming with the microphone built into the camera, which I can tell you from having done that with this camera for years now, does not sound good, and you do not want that. Anyhow, this movie is bad. It is dumb, it is nonsensical, it's honestly kind of boring at times. But I would be lying if I said you can't have a total blast with it. From things just as simple as, you know, Tibby giving them a safe with things they need to survive, and there being peanut butter sandwiches in there. Like, the fact that he had to go and make peanut butter sandwiches, then put them in this crate for when people are playing a shark game. I don't know why I find that so funny, but that's the equivalent of Jigsaw showing up halfway through Saw being, hey, want a Mountain Dew? We got some Twix bars and Pop-Tarts if you're hungry. You doing good? Okay, I'll go now, bye. Like, I don't think anybody but me is really going to pick up on that, but I find that hilarious and I can't say why. It is kind of a so bad it's good movie. It is not the best shark movie out there. In fact, it's kind of one I think they could have gone a little bit more crazy with. But it's still fun. If you can find it, I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi.com actually. I know it's on iTunes. I was going to try and buy it so I could then get footage from it to use in the review. The issue being they don't have it to buy, just to rent, and then I can't blah blah blah, so whatever, I'm just doing it the way I normally do. It is a lot of fun, especially if you're just not taking it seriously, grab some drinks with some friends, and just kind of going for a good, bad movie. It's Saw meets Sharks. It's worth checking out for that alone. Until in the end, I have to give it 1 Raptor Claw out of 4 for quality. It is just bad. But for entertainment value, 2.5 Raptor Claws out of 4. Not the best I've seen, but I have seen worse. Overall, 1.5 to 2 Raptor Claws out of 4. It is fun. It has its moments of pure goofy insanity that will make you laugh out loud. More than a few times I pointed at the screen and yelled, "Wait, what? No, that shouldn't be there," like stuff like that. But it's not, it's not Sharknado, it's not Sharktopus, it's not Three-Headed Shark Attack. There are better ones out there. But this is one that is worth checking out, if you're curious. That's all the time I got for this episode, Dino Dudes, and that'll do it for this episode of the Meteoraptor Reviews. So until next time, this has been the Meteoraptor. As always, saying keep cool, and I will see all you Dino Dudes around. Later!